What if I told you that we're all guided by invisible forces? That the magnetic and electrical currents of the Earth are right now, this very second, shaping our health and our lives? Today, we are diving into the Biohacker's Guide collection. It's a truly groundbreaking series that uncovers the invisible energies connecting your body, your mind, and the living planet right beneath your feet. So the whole idea here is that there's this hidden world of energy all around us, a kind of symphony that connects absolutely everything. This collection is really a gateway to understanding that hidden energy, bringing back knowledge that bridges modern science with ancient wisdom. And to help us unpack all of this, we have an expert who's studied this collection inside and out. Welcome! It's great to be here. You know, symphony is absolutely the perfect word for it. It's like a language the Earth is constantly speaking. And this collection, well, it teaches us how to listen. Exactly. The collection really introduces itself with this incredibly powerful metaphor. See, it's not just 5 separate books sitting on a shelf. It's designed to be a unified tool that works together just like a fist. The whole point is to provide a single, powerful awakening to the living language of our planet, a language of pure energy. The Earth really is alive, and it's whispering its secrets through this collection. And let's be clear, this isn't some New Age concept. As Nikola Tesla himself said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The collection grounds its entire premise in a principle that was laid out by one of the greatest scientific minds in history. It reframes ancient knowledge through a lens of physics that we can actually understand today. Okay. So how exactly does the collection teach us to understand this hidden language? It's all structured as a journey, a guided tour across 5 distinct but deeply connected volumes. Let's walk through that roadmap together.
This whole journey of discovery is laid out in 5 key stages. You start with the fundamental energies of the Earth itself, then you learn how to spot harmful disruptions. From there, you actually develop the skills to perceive these energies, you put them into practice, and then finally you apply them to something as vital as growing our own food.
All right, so let's start with that first step, geobiology. Can you break that down for us? What does that actually mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Think of Volume 1 as learning the basic grammar of the Earth's language. It dives into the planet's own magnetic field, its natural heartbeat, what's known as the Schumann resonance, and these global energy grids like the Hartmann and Curie lines. The book makes the case that just like our bodies have a circadian rhythm, the Earth has a pulse. And learning to line with that pulse is absolutely foundational for our sleep, our vitality, and our overall health.
Okay, so if geobiology is all about finding that harmony, what's the flip side? What happens when things are out of sync? Well, that's exactly what Volume 2 is all about. Geopathies. If geobiology is harmony, geopathies are the dissonance. They're described as these geomagnetically disturbed zones. Basically, areas where the natural energy is distorted by things like underground water streams or geological faults. The volume explains how these spots can act like a kind of subtle static, what it calls silent saboteurs, that just drain our vitality and can weaken our immune systems over time. That is fascinating, but if these zones are invisible, how in the world are you supposed to find them? And that brings us to Volume 3 and the art of radiesthesia. This is the practical skill of learning how to perceive these subtle energies. It often involves using simple tools like dowsing rods or pendulums, really as extensions of our own natural sensitivity. It's a method not just for mapping out the energy in your own home, but it's one that researchers have used to trace what they call an energetic equator that connects sacred sites and ancient pyramids all across the globe. Okay, so you've got the theory from the first books, you have the method, but how do you actually learn to do it yourself? Right, and that's exactly where Volume 4 comes in. Because theory is one thing, but a tangible skill is something else entirely. This volume is a hands-on workbook. It's designed to bridge that gap. It's packed with practical exercises and methods to train your own sensitivity, which effectively turns the concepts from the first 3 volumes into a real, repeatable skill that you can apply in your day-to-day life. You can think of it as the practice field.
And it looks like the final volume takes all this knowledge out of the home and right into the garden. Precisely. Volume V shows how this knowledge expands outward with something called electroculture. Now, this isn't some new technology. It's actually a rediscovered farming technique. The whole idea is to use simple structures like copper antennas and spirals to channel the atmosphere's natural electrical energy right into the soil. The book presents this as a way to dramatically boost crop health and yield, all without relying on a single chemical fertilizer.
This all sounds absolutely incredible, and it naturally leads to a really important question. Where is the line between what some might call ancient mysticism and actual modern science? To help us answer that, we're so pleased to be joined today by the author of this collection, César Arcé. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to share this work with you and with all your listeners.
César, let's just address the elephant in the room. For a lot of people, concepts like pendulums and energy grids, well, they might sound like pseudoscience. How do you approach that skepticism in your work?
That's a very valid question, and it's one I took very seriously throughout the entire process. You see, this collection is the result of years and years of research, combining physics, biology, ancestral traditions, and a lot of practical experiments. My goal has always been to create something that is rigorously scientific, but at the same time accessible to everyone. The real aim is to demystify these topics, not to create some kind of new dogma.
In fact, I state this very directly in the books themselves. The Biohacker's Guide collection must be read and applied as a scientific exploration, not as pseudoscience. Every single principle, every observation, and every method is verifiable, it's reproducible, and it's open to scrutiny. This is all about revealing the science behind these phenomena, and, in doing so, erasing old superstitions.
Thank you, César. That is such a crucial clarification, and it brings us to what I think is the ultimate takeaway here. This isn't just about information in books. It's really about understanding your own potential and embracing a completely new way of living in harmony with the world all around you.
So when you really distill it all down, it comes to this: 5 volumes. One single message. We live in a world that is guided by the invisible forces of the Earth's magnetic and electrical fields. From the spark of a single neuron in your brain to the germination of a seed in the ground, these forces influence our health and every single moment of our existence.
And that really leads to the final, most empowering metaphor of the entire work. This collection is both an invitation and a challenge. It's an invitation to listen differently, to live differently, and a challenge to remember that your body is the antenna and the earth is your amplifier.
Like what we've talked about today has only just scratched the surface. For anyone who wants to dive deeper, the complete series offers full chapters, detailed case studies, scientific diagrams, and step-by-step practices. You can find it in print and ebook on Amazon and in Audible on Audible. And you definitely don't want to miss the latest official releases: Volume 3, Radiesthesia, Volume 4, the Radiesthesia and Radionics Booklet, and Volume 5, Electroculture, all available starting today, Sunday, September 28th, worldwide.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. Now that you know the orchestra's playing, are you ready to learn how to listen? Are you ready to enter the symphony of the invisible?